Well, now it's time to check your money with America's Money Maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, what's going on?
George, we are busy this week.
We are busy.
Have you noticed we had a lot of economic news this week?
Yes, we did.
Because the Federal Reserve came out again.
It did.
On Wednesday and made a pronouncement that we are going to lower interest rates by a quarter point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of people were expecting that, but still, there was some conversation around whether or not that was really going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the Federal Reserve members voted, and the overwhelming vote was for them to lower interest rates.
What does that have to do with me?
Well, couple of things. One, your interest rate in your bank account, which was already low, may get lower. If you have an adjustable rate mortgage, it's possible that that mortgage may reset to a lower amount. Not guaranteed, depends on how your contract was written. It also means that bond yields will actually start to come down some. But servicing debt, if you have, particularly for corporations, if they're servicing their debt, the debt servicing will become easier because they're paying less in interest. We'll see how that moves forward, over the next several months. There's some talk as to whether or not there will be another interest rate lowering. We'll see. It's really going to be driven, as they say, by the data. It's going to be driven by what's happening with productivity, what's happening with the trade wars, and all those types of things. But it was a busy week.
Did you get gas?
I got gas.
What did you notice when you got some gas this week?
Gas was up.
Right, because of the oil tank.
Well, because of the drone strike there in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And the concern there is whether or not supply would be choked off. You probably noticed that gas jumped a lot, then it came back down. Because one of the things that happened during the last administration, we started to see that the U.S. economy and the U.S. oil and gas industry is becoming more self-reliant.
Right.
So we don't have the kinds of strains, I know I'm a little bit older than you, kind of strains that we had back in the 70s and 80s.
I remember the gas siphoning and the cars, the lines around the block. I remember that.
This is where we had we were so dependent on oil coming in from the Middle East. Now we don't have those issues. What may become a bigger issue for us, though, as far as the gas prices, and it really hasn't hit the news yet, but it's what's happening in Houston.
With the flooding.
With the flooding. Because our refineries.
I knew you'd figure out how to get Houston in here somehow.
Home people, how y'all doing? Okay. But with the refineries, we may have some issues with supply and distribution.
So that'll have a bigger impact, you think, on what consumers will pay.
Exactly. That's a possibility. We'll have a bigger impact. We'll have to see how that plays out over the next week or two.
Okay.
Okay? All right, then. So
what's going on, Vicki?
Well, you know what? You sent me an interesting clip.
I did. So there was this Revolt Summit. Diddy does Revolt, is his TV channel, and they had a summit with Killer Mike and Candace Owens, who's very conservative, and T.I., and they were having a political based conversation. And essentially, Killer Mike says that he was talking about a couple of things. Number one, he said that black folks should not be arguing about who has the better master, right? He says, I'm paraphrasing. Exactly. He says, kill your master and get your own stuff. Stuff. Because, stuff. You fill in the blank. He didn't say stuff. But it was intriguing, and I thought, since they were having that conversation, and they got into more of a political dialogue than anything else, but I thought that might be interesting to sort of look at somebody. He's got a Netflix special. He's an entrepreneur, and I wasn't really hip to him.
Right, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I
We don't know
hip to that either.
Right. Hip. Did I just say that?
You said hip. That makes sure that we're not hip.
Right. That I said that, right?
Exactly.
But I didn't really know
who he was.
Like that. Like I heard the name because he was. I remember he sat down with Hillary Clinton back in the day when she was running, and I said, who is this? I still didn't know, and the name was striking to me.
Exactly.
But
his actual or his given name is Michael Render,
Render, yeah.
R-E-N-D-E-R.
Yes.
He's there in Atlanta. He and his wife have built a pretty nice little empire.
Right.
Okay, as far as barbershops and beauty shops and things of that nature. Here's the thing that's interesting for me.
Okay.
And just looking at some of the things that we found online for him.
And by the way, check out his Netflix special called Trigger Warning.
Yes.
You can learn all about him as well.
Okay, so
Promotions. Killer Mike, hook a brother up.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. I noticed that he speaks a lot about following Warren Buffett. I found it kind of curious and interesting that there are several people who are in the entertainment industry or who are entrepreneurs in the black community that follow Warren Buffett because they really pinpoint some of the things we talked about almost 2 years ago when I asked everyone to read the book A Millionaire Next Door.
That's right.
The Millionaire Next Door's formula, which is also very similar to Warren Buffett's formula, was live below your means.
You've been preaching that.
Live below your means. Create assets. Make sure that you keep your debt levels low and don't go out and show all the wealth. Live below your means. And that's one of the things that he was trying to, I believe in the clip that we saw to emphasize, was that as far as creating an agenda, our agenda should be around a mindset. Here's the mindset. Number one, income, we've said it before, income is not net worth.
Right.
It's how you take that income, how you take the revenue and create assets to create net worth. Number two, that you need to be sure that you are taking care of your own. When we talked about Nipsey Hussle, I said Nipsey Russell, didn't I?
You did.
Nipsey
That's
Hussle.
dating yourself. Now you dating yourself.
Okay. It was about creating assets within your own community so that you would have ownership versus you have loanership. Okay? Then, finally, he was looking at, again, with all the things with Warren Buffett, how to be sure that when you are taking the resources that you're investing for the long term, don't look for the quick hit. Don't try and turn it over and make that big bang. Strategic application of the funds so that you can grow them for the future. So I was really happy too, although there was a lot of energy, I'll say it that way. Yeah, right. Energy in that conversation. What it really boils down to is those things, okay, as far as what you should be doing on a long-term basis. George, for everyone who didn't see that clip, where did you get that?
Well, I don't know because I sent it to you just Google Revolt Summit with Killer Mike, Candace Owens, and you'll find it.
All right, then fine. So I guess at this point
We'll
in
have
time,
the link on our Facebook page.
we'll put the link on the Facebook page. That's right. So at this point in time, I just want to remind everyone, if you have any questions, you can reach us at info@brackensfsn.com. Please go to our YouTube channel and go into the YouTube channel and subscribe. And you can reach us also on Facebook. And the number is area code 315-930-4499. And at this point, I'll say...
Don't say it. Don't say it yet. Because is there some cabaret or something coming up?
Oh!
You did mention that last time, and you just kind of didn't say it.
We sent out today.
That's what I'm saying.
Today.
See? What the heck? See, I read the stuff.
Okay, we sent out today the announcement, which is that on February 23rd, we will host and support the Central New York Jazz Foundation's 12th annual Black History Month Cabaret.
Right.
Performers are Gerald Veasley and Jasmine Gent. You can officially go on to cnyjazz.org's website and purchase tickets. Now I will say, our plate is full.
All right. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and the registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC.